Welcome back to the Relatable Black Girl, where I'm your host, Simone. And on this episode, I want to talk about how misery loves company. And you guys, I can't lie. I used to be one of those miserable ass people who had a miserable ass friend, and we were just always negative and talking bad about people or men, or like just had this very like negative perspective on life. And I can honestly say from experience, I really just felt like I was being realistic. I'm just being realistic. Like, the truth is, these men ain't nothing. The truth is, women are all fake and phony. And I just felt like, oh, I'm just keeping it real. And I think a lot of these people who are just going through life miserable, they really think that they're just like this honest person that's just so much realistic than other people. And I hate it for me that at one point in my life, I almost felt like being mad, being sad, being unhappy was just what my life was, you know? And not to say that I felt like I didn't deserve happiness, but I just felt like happiness was me buying myself something nice. Happiness was maybe somebody else buying me something nice. Happiness was, something being centered around me and having this moment. And I didn't really realize, like, you can just wake up every day and be happy and everybody's entitled to it. I felt like it had to be a certain situation or reason for me to be happy. And I think that when I saw other women who were just like always happy or just in a good mood, I felt like it was fake. Like, I'm like, no, those women who walk around with those cheery personalities all the time, it's just fake. And sometimes I can't lie. It do be fake sometimes. But I do think that there is a lot of people out there who just have a more positive outlook on life, because I feel like I'm becoming one of them, where I just try to be so kind to people and compliment them and let it be like genuine compliments that I really love your hair today. Like, like I really love what you're wearing. I love that necklace. And, just very genuine in how I really feel, and like looking for positive things about them that they do and say that I just like, and commenting on them and let them know that, hey, I see this and I love that. And it took me a while to really realize that I was being like a miserable ass person. Like, one time I was having a phone conversation with a friend, and my sister kind of like called me out on it. And I really kind of was just like, girl, what are you talking about? But I do realize that I was being very negative. I was being extremely negative, but I felt like I was being realistic and just thinking of the worst case scenario. And I think that I've always been like that. Like, oh, expect the best, but prepare for the absolute worst is the saying. But I think that I would be expecting the absolute worst, but maybe like a little bit of open, like minded to something positive happening. And I think a lot of people do it and they don't really know that they're doing it. They really don't. A lot of these keeping it real people are very miserable people that don't realize that they are miserable. And I had a friend once that was in my ear. And you guys, I've talked about it before. At like one point in my life, I was so easily influenced by my friends because I just felt like they had really good intentions for me. And I was just at this point in my life where I just felt like I don't know what to do. Like, I've tried this, I've tried that. Like, I can't make a decision. And I would really like listen to my friends and like take what they say into consideration. And it wasn't until I started to try to put in an effort to have more of a positive mindset, or just like think more highly about myself and who I am as a person, listen to a lot of affirmations, helped me do that, saying a lot of affirmations, writing down things that make me angry, make me sad, and like making a promise to myself to say, I'm going to let this go and I'm going to leave it in the past. And I'm not going to keep thinking about it, keep torturing myself with like unhappy memories and say, hey, that's the past and I'm going to move on and I'm going to make it, I'm going to let it go. Like I made this conscious decision and effort to do this. And I started to realize how unhappy my friends were and how advice that they were giving me was just not good advice. Like I had people say like, oh, once you get to a certain age, you just need to have a baby. Forget trying to get married and find the one and somebody that wants a family. They was like, just push you a baby out, girl, because past a certain age, you just need to have a kid. And I think that's terrible advice to give anybody. And I've had more than one friend like say that to me. Mind you guys, right now I am 29 years old. I don't have any children and I feel like I have time to meet someone good and like start a family. Like I feel like I have time. But I had a lot of people in my ear telling me that I need to have a baby by the age of 28. And I don't know why, but I had a lot of people in my ear. And sometimes even when I was even younger, when I was like 24, I had someone tell me like, oh, just have your baby. Like, who cares where the man is at or what he's doing? Like, I had my baby and I just kept going. Like, I just moved on with my life. I don't know where my baby daddy is. And I just thought that was the craziest thing ever, because why would you want to choose that for yourself? I know it happens to women and they have no choice but to like move on, and that's a situation, but who wants to go out of their way to choose that? So it's like I really started to realize that the life that people live and they're not happy with, they want to justify why they're living this way, and they also will promote it even though they are so unhappy with it. And it's so very clear they have to miss out on things, or they aren't able to afford certain things because of the choices that they've made, and they will encourage you to make that same choice so they have somebody to relate to and like something to bond over. And I think that you have to really look at who people are, what they're doing, and like what their future goals are when you are choosing friends. Because we have those friends who they're chaotic, but they're fun, right? Like they're chaotic, they're negative, they're not living their life right, but they're such a good time. And it's like a key when you're around them. So sometimes it be kind of hard. But I think that I'm in such a place where I found so much peace that when I do meet somebody that's just mature and they're married and they're actually happy with who they're married to and they're enjoying their life, I just love that feeling. It's such a better feeling, even though like I'm single and I don't have any children. Like I just love that for them, and I love the energy that they bring and the positivity that they're bringing. And it's like, oh, I want that to be me someday. Let me be around you and let some of that rub off on me. Like, you know, when I see women in their careers and they're successful and they're happy with their careers that they have and they work hard, and I'm like, oh, rub off on me. Let me get some of that energy. Like I'm just being more conscious about who I give my energy to and who I let around me, because that will start to rub off on you unless you're a very, very strong person, which I feel like I am now. Now I feel like I am someone where you can't tell me nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't tell me nothing. It don't matter what someone else is doing or saying. Like I separate how I feel and how I think from what other people feel and think. I had a friend recently, and when I tell you her life made no sense to me, and like if you're my friend in private, I'm going to tell you I feel like you're wrong or I don't like what you're saying or doing. But in public, I'm just gonna let you do your thing unless it's too bad. Then I'm gonna stop you and be like, hold up, wait a minute, don't do this, don't say that. But it's like at the end of the day, I never want my friend to, or anybody that I care about, to feel like I don't have their back and I'm not on their side. So like I said, I don't, especially if they're being like ganged up against it, be like, hold up now. But yeah, I just never let what she had going on influence me, you know? Like, we weren't really like friends. We were more like just like associates, but I never let what she had going on bother me. Like, girl, I'm gonna keep my hair done. I'm gonna get my lashes done. I'm getting my nails done. Like, I like looking good. I like looking good for myself. I like working out. I like doing those things for me, for myself. I just like to live a peaceful, calm life. And I like to be around people who have good news. I love when people have good news. I'm getting married. I got the promotion. I got a new job. I'm going back to school. I graduated. I love hearing good news. I don't want to be around somebody and every time I talk to them, it's drama. It's like something new going on and it's something negative. Because at some point, you got to kind of look at yourself and what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I entertaining a man that is talking down to me or depending on me financially? If that's what you want to do, then I mean, I guess that's fine. But I don't want any man depending on me financially needing my car to get around, dropping me off. I don't want any of that. So it's kind of like if someone isn't making the conscious effort to separate themselves from negative things and negative people, they're gonna get sucked into being miserable. And guess what? They're gonna want you guys to relate. They're gonna start finding problems with your job, with your bosses, with your other friends, with your man. They're gonna start pointing out things and just keeping it real and trying to get you to see things that are not really there or just really isn't that deep. I feel like the minute someone starts to do something that you feel like makes you uncomfortable or upset you or that you just don't like, it's just really important to cut them off or to not entertain them and keep your distance. I had this one coworker who wanted to like go out with me and I just would not go out with her because every time she talked to me, it was always something very negative. And it was always job related. And it's just like, I don't really want to go out and have drinks and talk about this job. You know, once I leave here, I don't even want to think about this job. So I always was very like polite to this person, but I kept a distance from them because they always had something negative to say. And then we happened to be around each other outside of work. And they were just like making little facial expressions when I was talking about certain things or saying certain things. And guess what, you guys? I don't say anything to them at all, period. The last time I saw them, they said nothing to me and I said nothing to them. Because it's just like the minute someone does something weird, shady, or that makes me uncomfortable, you gotta go. You got to go. You gotta get away from me. And that's what you have to do to protect your energy. You have to peep stuff and separate yourself immediately. I made a really big mistake once when I was down here and I hung out with a girl for a very long time who was just very shady and negative towards me. And I just kept trying to like just be cool and like, you know, be positive, and I regret it so much. And I will never do that again. Protect your energy, protect your peace. I'm Simone, and this is the Relatable Black Girl, and I will see you guys next time.